Now, now we're good.
Oh shit!
I pressed the button.
Oh no! Oh no, Jerry!
Yeah, like that's the way we roll. No prep, straight off the dome. We do it live here at fucking Do It Cast.
Yep. Here's the factor. We do it live.
We do it live.
Screw it. We're doing it live.
Fuck it. All right, Brandon Chalmers, what are you geeking on this week before showtime?
Currently, right now, I was just watching SmackDown 1000, but I understand that WrestleChat's
1,000?
1000 is their 1000th episode.
What?
Yeah, but I also know that Wrestle Talks don't get viewers apparently, so we're gonna shy off of that.
Hey, if you're geeking on the 1,000th episode of The Rock's show,
yeah,
I feel like that's worth spending a couple minutes talking about it.
I don't know. Let's be honest here. It's only been on for 36 minutes. I caught it 10 minutes in, and what I got to catch was one Vince McMahon having himself a dance break with R-Truth, because he has his own segment apparently with Carmella, and Shane and Stephanie. So I know when we get done this, I'm going to turn it back on because apparently Batista's going to be back on TV. Super Art Fight adjacent super friend. Yeah, because I spent the better part of 20 minutes talking to Christian and Tommy Dreamer in a Starbucks once.
That's right.
And they hung out with Batista when he had a Meat Lover's Pizza, and therefore I am claiming at least 2 degrees of separation from Batista.
No, we saw him in the lobby. That's 1 degree of separation.
Saw him in the lobby. What I'm saying is I was friendly with someone who has shared a hotel room with a one Drax. So therefore I'm considering it 2 degrees of separation.
Okay.
From a one art fight referee with the referee. I don't know. I gotta find a fucking better thing. I don't know what rhymes with referee. Anyway. Fucking host with the most is so goddamn easy. Referee's bullshit.
Referee.
I mean, I'm part-time host. I host sometimes.
Yeah, you host sometimes. I host sometimes. We all host.
Yeah.
Hostess with the mostess.
Yeah.
So 1,000 episodes. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, so what have I really been geeking out about? Let's see. I have been tearing through Motor Trend on Demand. I have their subscription service because I'm a big fan of Roadkill. If you are a car nerd or you enjoy reality television, I highly suggest throwing $5 at Motor Trend on Demand. Spend a month and catch up on all of their shows. Roadkill Garage, Dirt Every Day, a few other shows, where basically it's just 2 dudes get in an old car, try and make it work, go on an adventure, which I think is a pretty simple idea, and seeing it happen over and over again in different areas and what have you is kind of fun to watch. But because of that, I have been watching a show called Misfit Garage. And Jamie Noguchi, I know you are a shitty reality TV fan, much like I am. So I don't know if you had watched any of Fast and Loud.
I think I may have caught a couple episodes, but I'm familiar with the guys who run the garage. Okay,
so this is the spin-off show of that. They took 2 guys who had ended up quitting or getting fired. Yeah, so there was a guy, Scott, originally, who worked at Gas Monkey before moved into the large facility. The guy Jordan, who got fired for a bad attitude, and the guy Tom, who was the fat guy who made all the funny jokes and pretended to be Boss Hog and stuff like that. He got fired for screwing around. They decided to start their own garage, literally like right down the street, and start building hot rods, and then in turn a reality show following their builds and them trying to compare themselves to Richard Rawlings of Gas Monkey fame, which, by the way, Weird Worlds colliding. The Proto Men, Super Art Fight, Super Friends, played Gas Monkey live like last weekend.
What?
And when I saw them promote that, I was like, the fuck is going on in my brain where the reality show Car Dudes and the band that we know rather well who plays Mega Man music are managing to combine worlds, and I'm like,
Yeah.
understand.
That's really weird.
Yeah. Anyway, if you were looking for dumb TV in the background, it will not set your world on fire. It will not change your life in any way, shape, or form. But it's goddamn funny, and I can really enjoy some like good old boys, not necessarily being good old boys, like no political shit, no nothing or anything else like that. Just kind of them hanging out, playing grab ass a little bit, and building some cool cars.
Do they? So there used to be a show, Biker Build Off. I don't know if that's still a show.
Okay.
Do they have like a hot rod build off where like garages
No.
compete? Oh, okay.
No. It's more of a like they find a car relatively cheap, they go bring it back, they talk about what can they do with it. They set a reasonable timeline to be able to make enough money to be able to then keep the business going, and then lather, rinse, repeat until they start to make enough money that they can do multiple car builds, and then the timeline starts to stretch out.
Mm-hmm.
So like initially, they're all partners in a business, which you and I are very familiar with, and they're putting their own money out there. So they say, okay, well, we started this business, we're not making anything until we sell a car. We all put $5,000 of our own money in, and we've got, then in turn, a budget of $20,000 to build something cool to then go and do something else. So they have to find a car for like $1,200 and then barter and trade with a different paint shop and with the goddamn Jamie, the fucking, I can't tell if she's willingly doing it to try and make money. Do you remember Gas Monkey when Sue was on their upholsterer?
No.
She runs like an upholstery shop, and she is an Asian lady. I cannot tell where from. I'm very bad at that, admittedly. And she lets them basically make every fried rice and egg roll joke they can possibly fucking get away with, and she's, God love her, she speaks with an incredibly thick, broken English accent, and really kind of lets them kind of play into it. And near as I can tell, it's like one of the few things where it's like, hey, a bunch of Southern boys are hanging out with the Asian lady. Like, they still call her Dragon Lady.
My God.
I know. Like, it's one of those fucking painful things that if you find that sort of thing upsetting, I agree with you. Two, the only consolation that I can give you is that she is making a fair bit of money off of this show.
Yeah, I was about to say, is she getting paid?
I mean, she's getting paid from the guys who were doing it. So, like, she is Richard's upholsterer, and then she's also these guys' upholsterer, and I assume she's doing other stuff because you see other cars there. But I would imagine that if you are getting a car redone and you are in the Dallas metro area, you're probably going to see how much the lady from the TV could do your car for. Just be able to say that you had the car done by the lady who was featured on
that
X
show
and X show. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, hopefully she is making hand over fist and is just doing incredibly well, and her business is booming because of these good old boy fucks, and she's just tolerating them because she needs to make some money. But I'm not gonna lie to you and say that it doesn't make you a little fucking uncomfortable to say. But I mean, if you've already watched Fast and Loud or dealt with anything Gas Monkey, you understand that is nothing new.
Yeah,
that does not change. So yeah,
there is that. I've tuned into those shows a handful of times, mostly because like I get really excited about the paint,
right?
And they don't feature that enough, so I've stopped. I've kind of fallen off that bandwagon. But like when American Chopper first started, and they spent like a couple minutes with the painter and like him laying down the pinstripes and spraying on the candies, I was like, oh, I want more of this, please.
Yeah, they actually brought in the later seasons of this show, their painter that they brought in midway through like the second season is now actually an owner of the garage. He's one of the partners now. So
nice.
Seeing him do like really badass two-tone jobs on the old classic Fords that they sold to Danny Trejo, or like cool like scalloping all over the place and pinstriping and what have you. So like the paint jobs, while they don't go into detail maybe as much as they could, are really fucking impressive.
Yeah, I'm doing a Foos fade on Audrey's Dragon Ranger helmet.
As we lost our entire audience.
Green to blue, baby. Green to blue with a nice candy. It's gonna be so good, and no one's gonna understand why it's so good.
No, everyone's gonna understand why it's so good. They're just not gonna know how you did it.
Candy. Candy. More candy. And some more candy.
Yep, Jamie Noguchi. Anywho. So what are you geeking out about, sir?
Well, Brandon, I'm happy to report that Asian food halls are a thing, an up-and-coming trend in my area. So this past weekend, couple months ago, there's a place that opened up in Rockville called The Spot. And The Spot is a Asian food hall. Do you remember that place we went to in Chicago?
Yeah, one looked like it belonged in a fucking John Woo film. All sorts of doves flying out of shit.
Yeah, now imagine that setup, but cleaner and brighter.
Okay.
Which seems like it wouldn't fit because I don't know, those dumplings that we got in Chicago were fucking amazing.
Oh my god. Okay, hang on a second. I need to give everyone context of why Jamie and I are freaking out about this. So we went to C2E2, our second time going to C2E2 together, I believe.
Yeah.
We ended up going to dinner with a bunch of other comic creators, one of which who drove us over there, that guy with glasses, far more famous than us as far as YouTube is concerned, was kind enough to drive us over. Everyone else who went there decided to go to the like generic looking Chinese food place.
We're gonna get teriyaki.
Yeah. I'm gonna go get some orange chicken, and I'm trying to figure out what to eat. And I am with a one Jamie Noguchi. I am with a one, as we joke around, Master of Disguise Phil Chan, of the Digital Pimps. If you've walked around and you've seen anything with Turtle versus Bunny, that is a one Phil Chan. He's been behind the table. High five him. He's great people. Anywho, they were kind enough to basically Sherpa my big ass around and kind of be like, hey, look, the big white boy's safe. He's one of us. Could we get you some weird stuff? And we hit up a dumpling place. Didn't order off the menu. I think, Jamie, you asked him, what do you suggest?
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at you very calmly but very confidently and said, lamb and coriander soup dumplings. And you immediately shouted, 2 trays. And then we went somewhere else. There was like a stall that had like weird skewered bits of meat.
Yeah.
None of it like was in English. And understand, like a lot of these things, you know, there's the Chinese or Japanese or Korean characters there, and then below it is an English translation. This place, it had
not like that.
articles that were strictly in, I assume, Chinese.
Yeah, we were in Chinatown, so
right. You know, like articles that were written in Chinese, reviews that were written in Chinese. The menu was completely in Chinese. There was no fucking pretending about what anything was. I had no clue. Phil ordered for us. I had a weird thing on a stick. I think it was a chicken heart.
Maybe.
I'm not really clear.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like the fucking soup dumplings though, and I regress. The entire place was set up similar to what you would see in like in late 90s, early 2000s action film. Like it was
like that old food court. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like it was kind of a food court, but it was kind of like a courtyard, but it was all underground. All the walls were stark white. It was like just dirty enough you could tell that the place isn't regularly clean. Like it's swept, but has never been really kind of scrubbed.
Yeah.
And, you know, like the entire area, like I would fully expect, like when you turned around with the soup dumplings, for you to come into slow motion before you put them down on the, like full on fucking 90s shit, doves all flying past.
Yeah. And so, just throwing dumplings.
Right, yeah. So like it is that kind of place. So the idea of having something similar to this, though cleaner, makes me both excited and hesitant.
Yeah. So The Spot is a similar place. It's in Rockville. They feature a pulled noodle place So there's a guy in the window just pulls noodles, and then you get them in a soup.
Yes.
There's a Korean fried chicken place, which is really good.
Nice.
There's a poke place. So if you're familiar with poke bowls, it's like you get fresh, like raw fish and rice,
Okay.
and then you can put in all sorts of toppings and stuff.
Okay.
There's a bubble tea place. There's a ice cream place that gives you the waffle, the puffy waffles and stuff.
Okay. Right on.
And then there's a skewer place that just opened up that has a bunch of skewers. So the spot opened up, and I love the spot. It's right next to Szechuan River. So if I want Szechuan River and skewers and all this other stuff, it's the same parking lot. So I could just stop there and just like
I,
die in
wait,
the hall. It's amazing.
is that the place with the Dan Dan noodles?
Yeah, yeah,
Damn, Dan Dan noodles. Are
yeah.
fucking good.
So Brandon Chalmers,
Yeah.
Audrey was driving to pick me and Hazel up from the farmers market on Saturday, and she saw a sign on the side of Pike and Rose, which is like another place that we go to hang out, and it said, "The Block coming soon." And we looked it up. The Block is another Asian food kitchen, like eatery diner place.
Dude, they're gonna battle.
Yes, but there's another one
Yeah.
right next to our favorite place, Iron Age. Pike Kitchen is opening up. It's the same kind of thing.
God damn it, Jamie Noguchi.
So there are going to be 3 Asian food kitchens in driving distance near me. Now, the Block actually has a location in Annandale, Virginia. So we checked that out on Sunday, and it was the bomb. It was amazing. It was so good. They had like
God damn it.
fried chicken next to us. There was like weird Thai food, a Vietnamese place where you could get like, rib banh mi, like short rib banh mi. There's a snow cream place. Have you had snow cream?
I haven't. I'm still trying to wrap my head around rib banh mi.
Yeah.
Like, you just made a Reese's cup out of something I didn't know I wanted together.
Oh yeah.
But like,
it's so good.
the idea of having ribs and having banh mi together is the sort of thing that all I can say is I would eat that all night. I mean, all goddamn night. If I wasn't married already, I swear to God.
They've got a weird ice cream place that has like interesting flavors. Snow cream. So if you're unfamiliar with snow cream, they take a big block of frozen ice cream, put it on a lathe, they spin it, they get a blade that comes down and it shaves it. So you get this shaved bowl of ice cream, and you put all
Okay.
sorts of toppings on it, and it's so fluffy, and it kind of just, so you get the ice thing, and then you get the cream thing, and the ice
God
cream,
damn
and all
it,
this
Jamie
stuff.
Noguchi.
So that's coming to our area. So 2019, when we do Burger Face, it'll probably just be like Asian Face, where we just go around and stuffing our faces full of Asian food.
Okay, so I have to ask, can you please talk to fucking somebody and have them move that shit just a little farther north? Just a hair north.
There's got to be.
I am fucking lousy with Panera breads around here, but cannot get a fucking order of Dan Dan noodles. Literally, like, if you put a gun to my head and we're like, we need Dan Dan noodles in the next hour, I'd be like, I'm sorry, we have to drive south. Because I genuinely don't think I could actually order them around here. Nevertheless, like, a proper set of no, like, I got a halfway decent Chinese food place that makes some okay sushi, and like the thing I'm most excited about is they managed to figure out tempura. Like, I'm excited about the idea of them not fucking up fried food.
Yeah.
Like, a thing that I am more than confident that people at a goddamn fair can do. The idea of me being like, it's fried, but boy howdy is it Asian. And like, I'm supposed to be fucking pumped about that, and I fucking am. That's how low the bar is for Asian food around here.
That sucks,
goddamn.
dude.
Fucking northern Baltimore County is like, I don't know if we need some sort of like, what's the influence? I don't understand. Like, do we have to start playing into the stereo? Are the schools too much shit? Is that the problem?
I don't know. I think you need more Korean people, because the Block
Fuck it,
and the
yes.
Spot and the Pike Kitchen, I think they're all Korean owned.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this on record because I know you have an incredibly strong Korean contingent. I think maybe I don't really know. Possibly. Look, if you know someone who is Korean who has a restaurant idea and they're like, I'd like to open in Northern Baltimore County, I will let you live in my house for free. I have a guest room. We have a lovely dog. We don't have any children. We don't plan on having any children. I don't give a fuck what your hours are, okay?
Yeah.
All I ask is the occasional meal and maybe a high five on your way out the door. That's about it. The guest room is wide open. Bring your gift to us.
Yeah.
I need this. Like, look at this face. I can kill some motherfucking noodles. Like, Jamie Noguchi has seen me with a goddamn Korean barbecue plate. I can put some steak down. Believe me, I can destroy some noodles.
I actually wonder why. Well, I don't know if it's.
Oh, I know why.
I don't know if it's just Korean because there's a lot of Chinese places. I don't know. We have more Asian people than you do in Baltimore.
Yes, you do. And because of that, your food is just fucking better. It just plain is. Like, the only thing that I have a claim to fame on around here, liquor stores.
Yeah.
We have a goddamn whatever the fuck, I can't even remember what the name of it is. Wine something, Total Wine. So we have a place that actually has its own separate parking garage. It's that popular, and shopping carts as far as the eye can see.
We have a Honey Pig.
And as fuck. Yeah, Honey Pig sucks.
Well, no, but next to the Honey Pig is a giant liquor store.
Oh, well, fuck. Okay, you know what? I give up. That's it.
Oh, and we have like a douchey craft beer place that Michael Bracco would love.
We're fucking lousy with craft beer places.
Yeah.
Like, really, it's mostly south, though. That's mostly in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yeah. God damn it. You know, shit just gets better the farther south you get around here. Like, it seems like it cuts off right around middle Virginia.
Yeah.
But in the greater DC area, like Baltimore, DC, there's some good shit.
Yeah.
I think I'm just like I'm on the outer rim of some halfway decent shit.
Doesn't Hamden
Hamden has a lot of decent stuff. Hamilton has some decent stuff.
Hamilton.
You know, there's some areas right around where Micah is where basically all the hipster kids that got art degrees went, fuck, I can't make any money doing this. I should go make pizza. And then just decided to just kind of hang out and stay there.
Yeah.
So, and bless you all for that, because that shit is delicious.
The climbing gym that's up there, they have like there's a...
is right next to that, and that is fucking tasty. Yeah, I like I said, there are things, but that's Baltimore proper. That's not Baltimore County.
Yeah, okay.
That's still a half an hour from where I am.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm on the outer cusp of being able to get anything really decent. Like, I can get some decent soul food. I can get some decent southern cuisine.
That's good.
Lake trout's fucking tasty if you can find a decent place around here for it. Like, I can get fried chicken like a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get Korean fried chicken, but I can get proper fried chicken like a motherfucker.
Can you get Louisiana hot chicken?
No. You know what? There is a place that's in Timonium called Smoke that does some cool stuff, and they've done we
went to Smoke.
Hot chicken. Right.
Nashville hot chicken. That's what it is. Nashville hot chicken.
Their Nashville hot chicken is not that great, honestly. I've actually made Nashville hot chicken sauce. It's not that hard. I can make you up some if you'd like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mostly cayenne pepper and hate.
And you guys have a great biscuit place up near Timonium.
Yeah, yes. Yeah,
that place is amazing.
Yeah, we've managed to figure out, like, baked goods. We are real fucking good at baked goods. I will give that. There are quite a few bakeries in the Baltimore County area that are real goddamn good.
Yeah.
That fucking
and you have crab, the blue crab.
Yeah, but that's fucking everywhere. You can find that anywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, best of it's in Dundalk, I think, but you can find that fucking anywhere.
I never had crab until I got to college. Like, I never had, like, a proper, like, Maryland Old Bay crab thing.
I bet your parents. That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Well,
parents are absolute sweethearts, but I can't see them going out with somebody. He sounds kind of like this. Come on. You know what, honey? We're going to take Noguchi's out. We're going to go get us some crabs. Ears, and then we're going to end up eating a pizza afterward, because that's how you spend, like, $400 to get your crab, right? You get like 14 bushels, you eat them all goddamn night. You get drunk as hell, and then you go wanders down and go get yourself pizza. And go Pizza John's, because that's the top.
Pizza
you got the little
John's.
pepperonis, the little curl up and turn into little greasy cobs. Man, is they good. But yeah, anyway, like, I can't see your parents taking anyone out with that accent.
Yeah.
So, to their credit, good. But at the same time, that means that they miss kind of the crab experience.
Yeah, this...
That goes along. Like, honestly, if you told me your parents have never actually been out to go eat crabs, that would not surprise me.
We used to have, there was a seafood place called Old Donald's in Bethesda, and we used to go there because they had a treasure chest for the kids, and you, at the end of your meal, like, we could get, like, stupid little plastic toys. So we loved that going, so, like, we ate seafood, and there used to be the Chesapeake Bay Seafood House, but that's not the same thing as going to, like, a place to get, like, crab.
Right, going to get seafood and going to a crab house to get crabs are two very different things, two very different experiences.
Yeah.
Like, crabs are like seafood, but it's almost like going out to a taco joint, like a proper taco joint. Like,
oh yeah,
it's a little dirty. You know, it kind of it has some very unique smells. The clientele and also the staff are a little rough around the edges.
Oh,
like,
so many
it reminds
good
you
places.
a bit of like a dive bar. Like, if you go into a crab joint and the people behind the counter, or behind the bar, are a little stern with you, but are very confident, you're in the right kind of place. If anyone's a little too kind, but doesn't have like that Balmer accent,
Yeah.
like, if there's a dude behind the bar who's helping you out, who's a little too nice, leave. Because that guy doesn't belong in a proper crab joint.
No.
Like, a proper crab joint should feel like a proper mechanic or a welding shop or something. Like, there should be a little bit of grab ass. There should be a little bit of like inappropriateness going on.
Yeah.
There should be a little like, I don't know if I'm gonna end up getting my ass kicked in here. And if that's how you feel, good, you're in the right place.
Yeah.
Trust these people. They want to make sure you eat well. They want you to tip well. They want you to pay well. But they're worth every fucking penny. Yeah, like that may be the one thing that we have is like the crab house. But man, have we lost so much fucking culture. Like, we have none of it.
Yeah. I wonder why that is. Because...
White people.
Well, yeah.
There's not a strong Asian community inside most of the Baltimore County area. There's a bit
true.
over in like Catonsville area, but it hasn't really worked its way that far north.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's why the other Iron Age is over in Catonsville. It's the closest thing to an Asian community that happens this far north. Yeah. Anyway, as we talk about local everything to an audience of who the fuck knows where they are.
Basically, come to the DC area, get yourself some food. If you want some like crabs and like soul food and fried shit, go up to Baltimore. If you want Asian stuff, head out to Rockville.
You know what, Jamie Noguchi, we should like do a giveaway or something like that where we take a couple out for our version of like the Maryland experience. Like, we get with you like mid-morning, we go right around Rockville, whatever it is, we go get some decent lunch at like, maybe not Iron Age, but like some decent Asian places. We head ourselves further north and we work our way through like the Baltimore area. Maybe we do like crabs or something like that, and then we end up in like Joppa or Jarrettsville or something like that, and we go to a goddamn like demolition derby or something, and we just span the gamut of that is Maryland, where it's like, hey, culture and like things that aren't super white, and then just start wading our way into the whitest shit we possibly can.
Oh my god. That kind of
just to give people the full fucking experience of Maryland.
Yeah, that's all we have to offer.
Yeah, there's no middle ground. It's a demolition derby or the most amazing sushi you've ever had.
Yeah,
there's no fucking middle ground.
It's like,
like, boy, this place got a little sketchy. Like, the food's great around here.
Yeah,
like, the fuck?
The worse it looks, the better it tastes.
Anyway, Jamie Noguchi, what the fuck are we talking about this week?
Well, I checked our list, and it just says Redneck Shit. So, I think we're there.
I'd like to go on record as saying I had no goddamn idea what the fuck we were talking about, so I love that I am Lord of the Segways. Eat shit, Marty Day. Anyway,
Well, we talked a little bit about wrestling. We
Yeah.
we did some demolition derby.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
We talked
Okay,
about cars.
so Jamie Noguchi, I think you and I might be the best definition of how redneck shit can be there for an entire audience. Because by no sense of the definition are you redneck.
That's true.
And by some sense of the definition, I guess I would be redneck adjacent.
Hmm.
I do not adhere to a lot of the social or political norms that a redneck would, but I do fucking love explosions. I love fast cars, monster trucks, loud noises. Like, if somebody says hold my beer before they go do something dumb, that's my fucking wheelhouse. Like, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that might be the thing that I'm kind of getting at with this idea of like redneck shit. And I think this all stemmed from like a Facebook conversation or something that popped up where I just threw redneck shit on the list. But it's got me thinking that I think there's a lot of really fun stuff that scares a lot of people off by having some dude who kind of looks like Larry the Cable Guy get a little too racist.
Yeah.
And I think people lose the fun of some of that shit.
Yeah, the shit is fun. The fans of the shit are terrible.
Right.
Some
Like,
of them.
Some of them, and I think that's really the like trade-off. Like, I think this might be the way to bridge a culture gap here. And I know I'm really going fucking out on a limb here, but hear me out. Okay, so a monster truck rally that would happen at the convention center. Okay,
Uh-huh.
we're talking about downtown Baltimore. We're talking about a well-established national thing where monster trucks, motocross bikes, possibly Truckosaurus shows up. And
Oh, that's a
you
must. You need
Right.
Truckosaurus.
Right. So, like, we're talking about blasting classic rock. We're talking about blasting possibly relatively current hip hop. I'm assuming 2010 and older, so this way everybody recognizes it. Like the idea of DMX blasting through the speakers, so long as it's an edited version.
Yeah.
While Gravedigger does his freestyle event.
Gravedigger.
Right. But I think that's kind of where my head is. I think this might be one of the few ways that we could bridge a culture gap here, because people who look like me, who maybe are not nearly as progressive, tend to enjoy this kind of shit. Loud, fast cars, pretty cars, anything with a motor, anything that can blow up, anything that's loud and a little brash and makes a lot of people, when you stomp on the gas, go, do you really need that? Like, the idea of somebody going, fuck a Prius, I'll never buy a Prius. Those people may be onto something as far as the fun factor goes.
Yes. Yes.
Because while a Prius may be a very economical and practical vehicle in a lot of situations, it is by no means fun.
Yeah. My brother has a Prius, and it is not a fun car. It gets you
It's not
from
fun.
A to B.
It is fine transportation,
Yeah.
but it is by no means fun. Nothing you're ever going to do in a Prius, shy of maybe lay the back seats down, is going to give you a smile. So that's kind of where my head is. I think there's something to be maybe learned here or experienced about the like. Do I think that maybe some of the rednecks go a little too far with the Prius hate? Yeah, sure, okay. But I think the idea of saying, I'll take a classic Chevelle, a classic Corvette over a Prius any day, fuck, man. Like, they might be onto something there. And I think there might be something to be had there culture-wise of learning, like, yeah, okay, fine. Like, let's put our differences aside as far as, like, environmental stuff and what have you and yada, 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 because there's an argument to be made against the Prius for the batteries in the system and all the strip it takes for the batteries and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Because I've the counter-argument that by restoring a classic car, while it may be loud and brash, is actually better for the environment than buying a brand new Prius. I'm going to throw that out the window. I'm picking fun versus practical.
What if we put wings on the Prius?
Honestly, if you did a Prius up like a fucking Cadillac, I'd be down. Like,
Yeah, what if we took Like, what if we removed the Prius chassis, but kept the guts, and then made it look like like the retro futurism we were talking about a couple episodes ago?
Right on, right on. Okay, so here's where my head is. I don't want to necessarily redesign the Prius at this point.
Right,
I don't
right,
think it's the problem. I think what we need are like redneck guides.
Right.
Similar to a Sherpa taking you up the mountain.
Yes.
We need to have some rather large, most likely gentlemen in overalls, big beards. Basically, you come out to the country and they take you out and they do some fun, dumb shit with you. They put you on a four-wheeler. They go and ride around a field in a pickup truck. They take you to a monster truck rally. They take you to a drag race. They go out and they kind of show you some of the fun white shit. And you basically get to kind of experience everything in a bubble. You don't, like, everyone who's there understands that the money goes toward whatever it is, or yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
But, like, there's just kind of an understanding. Don't be a racist piece of shit.
No,
Don't
no
yell at
politics,
anybody.
yeah.
Right, no politics, no nothing, but, like, we put them in their own kind of booth area when they go to view everything. You walk around in a big group. You're basically like touring white people, essentially, is what I'm looking for.
Like Redneck Con or something like that.
Yeah, well, not even like Redneck Con. Like, almost like when you get a tourist group and you go to visit like, the Louvre.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to go, I don't know anything about that sort of thing, but I need to have a local who understands art, who understands culture, who understands the city, to then take me in and give me that experience.
In Hawaii, they have this thing called the Polynesian Cultural Center. It's a big tourist trap, but they have like the luau and the hula dance and the poi and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I think what you're talking about is like a redneck cultural center.
Yeah,
where you have docents coming in and explaining like all this stuff, and like you get a curated version of it, so it's non-threatening. You can go in and not feel like you might get lynched or you might get into a bar fight.
Yeah, like it's the best way I can describe it is a NASCAR race without any of the fucking Confederate flags.
Yeah, an Epcot Center for redneck shit.
Yeah, yes. Like, if you could go and experience shotgunning a beer and high-fiving a bunch of people in a bunch of loud cars and fast shit and, being able to kind of just have a good time and not really think about it or whatever it is, without all the racism, I think there might be something to be kind of, not necessarily learned, because there's nothing really learned.
No.
Something to be experienced as far as understanding culture, because I do think that there's a lot of people of different cultures who don't necessarily understand why best example I can think of, catfish noodling.
Yes.
For those of you who don't understand, catfish noodling is when you go into a murky river, you go and reach your arm either under a tree or into a hole. A catfish, a large catfish, 40 to 50 pound fish, gigantic fucking head, like the size of a pit bull, goes and locks itself around your arm. You then make your hand as wide as you can, and you pull that fish out of the hole, and you hold him up out of the water, and then you drag him over to shore, you slam him on the bank, you pull your arm out, and then another dude with a ball bat beats that fish about the head, and then you all go and enjoy a fish fry, and you get drunk with a dude named Zeke. God damn it, Jamie Noguchi. Like,
I'm there.
Do I think you may be comfortable? No. But
I'm there.
Fuck, would you have fun?
Yeah, and it would be amazing.
Even just watching that. Like, the idea of putting me in a river in a pair of overalls, having me dig my fucking arm into a goddamn hole, come out looking like an anime character, holding a big fucking cartoon-style fish looking like Gohan and shit. Slap the down the right. Some dude go, well, hell, son, hang on! And him beating the thing while it's on my arm. And then me lifting the jaws off, pulling my slightly bloodied arm off and going, oh, hell, we eating good tonight. And then him cracking a Milwaukee's Best before I've even cleaned myself, and I've had a beer before I've even exited the river. I think there's something to be said there about being able to experience that kind of fun. Like, if you let your reservations go and you just enjoyed the experience, I think there's something kind of fun there.
I agree with you. Do you think that the programming on like Discovery and Nat Geo and the Travel Channel and the History Channel, because they all feature this stuff. They feature the catfish, the noodling. They feature the garage shows.
Garage shows.
The garage shows. They feature a lot of redneck shit already, so there's clearly a market for that. Do you think it's just, I don't know. I don't think there's any altruism in that type of programming. I think they're just trying to make money off of it. But I think,
right, of course.
But I think that like because it's so pervasive, everybody's seen one of these shows. So I think people might be open to an experience like this.
And here's where I think we can bridge the gap. Okay, I think if you got a group of people in the Louisiana area to do tours of basically redneck shit, but the people you're going to hire to do this are Creole. They are of mixed race.
Yeah.
Traditionally of mixed race. Therefore, they do not carry any of the racist bullshit that goes along with it. Do they necessarily understand what it's like to be an African American in downtown Baltimore? Fuck no, they don't.
No.
But what they do understand is what it's like to not really be white and maybe not really be black, but maybe there's at least the ability there to be able to culturally respect each other long enough to be able to enjoy some silly shit.
Yeah.
Some silly redneck shit.
Yeah.
I think there might be some way to be able to kind of bridge that gap. Like, do I think that I'm the guy for that? No, I really don't. Do I think I'd have a fucking blast doing that job? God damn, I'd love that job. But that's the whole thing is, I wouldn't expect I wouldn't expect your parents to pay X amount of dollars, couple $100, to go out with me on a Saturday and go get into some redneck shit. Like,
yeah.
I don't think I'm quite redneck enough that they would feel as though they got an appropriate experience. And while I'd make them comfortable, I think they're looking for somebody almost with a thicker accent or just something like whatever that stereotype is. It would almost make them more comfortable, as fucked up as that may sound. But I wanna acknowledge like how this really works, because that stereotype fucking exists. There's nothing we can do about it. Like the southern drawl, the overalls, the cowboy hats, the shitty music, the missing teeth, the y'all hold my beer. Like there's a fucking culture that is there that is incredibly proud of what they are and do not fucking mince words in that sense. And I think there's got to be at least a small contingent of them who think and act all that way about a lot of that shit, but at the same time don't necessarily think that Asian people are bad.
Right.
And I have to assume there are some of those people. And I assume that maybe some of those people would love to be paid to go take out adorable couples like your parents on the, like, traditional redneck experience.
Yeah. I think it would be fun. I think it would be a fun vacation for like a weekend or something like that.
Right, yeah, like it's a weekend experience.
Yeah.
You get done and you go, I can't believe, like, imagine the idea of having the photo of your dad, hip waders and all, inside murky water, holding the fucking catfish on his arm, right? Like, how good would that picture be?
That'd be amazing.
Like, ton of all the other, like, loving, adorable family photos, and, like, right in the middle of the hallway leading into the kitchen, just a photo of your dad, proud as shit, holding a catfish over his head on his arm. Like, that's a fucking conversation starter. And is it going to solve a lot of problems?
I don't think so. But it'd be fun.
But here's the thing. Would it sand down the edges maybe a little bit?
Well,
would it cause maybe someone who basically writes off what they assume to be the traditional Trump voter completely off? And would it allow them to soften themselves long enough to at least then be kind, or maybe at least hold the door open for them? Because, like, a little civility, whether you completely disagree with somebody or not, is never necessarily a bad thing in open society. It's just not.
That's true.
I get the idea of slamming a door in a Nazi's fucking face, but we're talking about not Nazis. Like, we're, like, so I'm trying to soften the blow a little bit here and maybe bridge the gap a little bit. That I think there might be something to be, like I said again, not necessarily learn, but the very least experienced. And maybe if they can kind of understand that, like, yeah, I can't do it every Thursday, but the idea of going out and mud bogging in an old Ford pickup and then shotgunning a beer and hanging out, you know, with a giant bonfire and making a bunch of burgers and ribs and stuff like that can be a fucking fun way to spend a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think there is something to be experienced there that would normally scare people like that off.
Yeah.
If only just for the fucking hipster community.
That's true. So how do we get the necky guys, like, on the other side? Like, how do we get them to... So, the redneck shit, we're trying to expose people like us to like, their experiences. How do we do it the other way around? And I guess that's another topic of discussion first.
No, I think the idea is you have a quick conversation with them, you try and see where their head is, and you basically take them, like, the job interview would be you taking them on a tour of Rockville.
Right.
Or us heading down to South Baltimore for something, or West Baltimore for something, and seeing what the reaction is.
Yeah.
If they seem nervous because it's a sketchy part of town, but they don't say anything fucking terrible, maybe they're a good candidate to hire for this position.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a 2-part interview. Like, the interview is going to last all day. You're going to spend the morning with me in West Baltimore. You're going to spend the evening with Jamie Noguchi in Bethesda. And, like, we're going to see where you are. And if you seem like a bit of a fish out of water or whatever it is, but you're willing to go and have lunch at the Lake Trout place and not be a fucking shithead and be respectful to everybody, but not be afraid to you know, wear whatever you're going to wear, and then go down afterward and then go where you are and go get Dan noodles or whatever it is, and go to all of these places where, you know, it's an incredibly different culture that's going on, and be kind of like the idea of taking a dude who's wearing full camo and like real tree shit to go get bubble tea and him not being a shithead to anybody. Like, that's the kind of guy I want.
Yeah.
Like, if he goes, I don't know about this, and then spikes the fucking big ass straw in the bubble tea, and like the photo of him full fucking camo regalia, big fucking orange outlines and his shit, sipping on his bubble tea, you know, man, this shit's delicious. I don't care. Like, that's the kind of person I think that could actually be okay with the idea of like, hey, there's a bunch of cool shit that you're into.
Yeah.
Take somebody fucking bow hunting.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Like, the idea of like, hey, so it's going to be a weekend. We're going to take you down the shore. You're going to go Friday night. We're going to experience it kind of hardcore. We're going to go get barbecue. We're going to put a few beers in you. We're going to keep drinking through the evening. And we're going to go see a demolition derby. Then we're going to leave there. We're going to put you to bed around 11 o'clock. We're going to get you up bright and early, so you're going to be hungover as fuck, and you're going to go bow hunting. And you're going to experience it with, like, a crossbow. We're going to put you in a fucking tree stand, or we're going to go take you out to go, go hunt wild pigs or whatever it is, and, like, go experience, like, that side of it. Because I think, honestly, if you've never fired a weapon, not necessarily a gun, but a weapon with the intent of then killing an animal and then going to actually take care of that animal. You know, you use your crossbow, you take down a deer, you go and you help this redneck clean this deer. And then y'all go have fresh venison steaks for dinner. And you get to hang out with this dude and his family. You don't necessarily talk politics or whatever it is, but you talk about, like, we can have just a fucking list. Know the following things right up on the goddamn wall.
Yeah.
Like, you can talk about, you know, oh, have you never been out shooting yada, yada, yada? And you go, no. And, like, depending on how the day's going, maybe you and this dude go out back in the evening, crack a few more beers, and he shows you how to fire a fucking shotgun for the first time.
If you get to have the Katniss Everdeen experience, I think that would be awesome.
Right. Like, I think there's a lot of traditionally white redneck shit that is genuinely fun if you're willing to just take a chance on the dude. Like, if you knew the dude wasn't racist, You knew he was in a bit of a culture shock. You knew he didn't know much about African American culture or Asian culture or anything else like that. Like, if you can get past the idea of him going, okay, so are you Korean, Vietnamese, Chinese, Japanese, or Thai? I'm confused. And if you were very able to just kind of be like, I am yada, 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 this is my tradition, this is kind of my culture, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Or you just fucking looked at him and you went, I'm American, who cares? And he goes, fuck it, get in the truck. Like, if that's the person that we can get to do this, I think we might be able to bridge a little bit of a gap. Because there's a lot of cool shit to happen on one end, there's a lot of cool shit to happen on the other end, but, like, until the redneck gets to go experience... Like, God, imagine if there was, like, some sort of, like, foreign exchange program, essentially, where, like, you ended up becoming friends. Yeah, like, you ended up becoming friends with a redneck, and you knew he wasn't racist, but he didn't know anything about it, and he came to stay with you guys for, like, the weekend, and you took him down, and you took him to, like, Iron Age and Bubble Tea and wherever the fuck else, and you went and you built a Gundam model together, and you showed him all of the fucking tokusatsu shit, and you opened him up to a whole new world of shit. Like, it'd be a whole new experience for him. He'd be a fucking fish out of water.
Yeah, but that'd be fun.
Right, but, like, that'd be a hell of a lot of fun if you knew the dude was just genuinely curious. Even if something fell out of his mouth that you didn't appreciate, if you knew it came from a genuine place of curiosity and misunderstanding, and you could teach him, that would fucking change that dude.
Yeah.
Because he could very easily be able to go back and he could see something on Travel Channel or whatever it is, and his buddies go, oh man, I ain't eating no raw fish, and him going, actually, that's really good. I had raw eel. It was like, I had like a barbecue sauce over it. Man, that was fucking good. A little oily, but man, was it like, if he could explain the nuances of eel to another redneck while they crack shitty beers, that's a fucking culture gap I think we need to fix.
Yeah.
And I think we can do it both ways. Like, because I think there's a lot of people who are of the, like, hipster culture or the more educated of us who see the monster truck rallies or the NASCAR races or the mud bogging or fucking, like, off-roading or whatever the fuck it is. It usually involves a lifted truck and a lot of smoke.
Yeah.
And they go, that's for fucking dumb white people. But have never actually been in that vehicle doing that thing. They don't know how much fun it could be.
Yeah.
Is it wasteful? Sure. But is it fun?
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Yeah, like, so I think that needs to be it, Jamie. I think we need either some sort of business that does this or just genuinely an incredibly kind cultural exchange program where we take white people, we put them into other cultures they don't understand, we take people of other cultures and put them into white culture, as silly as that sounds to say out loud.
Right.
And let them experience all of the traditional style, like, redneck shit. Like, can you enjoy white shit without the racism? Like, if you could experience all of the cool redneck fun stuff, like, not the boring white stuff like Applebee's or Olive Garden, but like,
or the pumpkin spice, fuck that.
Yeah. Like, but like, I'm talking about like the fun, way out in the fringes kind of white shit. Like, if there is somebody that looks at whatever's happening and go, fucking white people, that's something I want you to go experience. Like, take that preconceived notion of, like, I'm not fucking doing that. Put that motherfucker in a box and huck that bitch in the sea and go do the white shit. Because there's a reason why that silly ass is doing it. And it's probably a lot of fun.
Yeah.
God damn it, Jim. You know what? Fuck it. I think I figured out how we can do this. Friends, here's the idea. If you are African American, if you are of the Asian persuasion, if you know a white dude that is similar to me in build or idea, and they have either a rear-wheel drive car where they are willing to pour bleach on the tires and do a burnout with you in the vehicle, if you have not experienced it before, or, and way more fun, if they have a shitty front-wheel drive sedan or hatchback, go to a fast food joint. Steal, hear me say this, steal 4 of the fast food trays off of the trash can. Okay? You're going to need 4 because you're going to want to do this more than once. You find yourself in an abandoned parking lot. You put the trays right in front of the back wheels. You pull the back wheels onto the trays. You lock the emergency brake. You put that bitch into low. You turn the wheel and you hammer on the gas. And that car will now magically slide around with grace. And you experience white people drifting. And you fly yourself around a McDonald's parking lot like a fucking moron for, I don't know, 5 minutes. And then switch out and either you do it or let your buddy do it. And you both experience it from both driver's seat and passenger seat. And then tell me that white people aren't onto something. Because that shit is cheap and fun. And you can totally do it and get the idea of someone would totally say, hold my beer, before they went and got in their car and put fucking fast food trays under the back tire. Because the idea of looking at your Honda Civic, looking at some fast food trays and saying, oh man, I'm gonna MacGyver the shit out of this, is not white. Get the fuck out of here. It's the whitest thing I could think of. That's it. I think that is the barometer of whether or not you're able to be able to handle a fun white weekend. By the way, if you are looking for the traditional white experience, I am happy to take anyone out. I can't tell you that I'll pay for everything, but if you were a fan of this podcast, if you're like, Brandon, I really want to go to a monster truck rally, or I really want to go out and go shotgun beers and go experience yada yada yada, fucking hit me up.
Hit us up at info@fuckingdoitcast.com.
Absolutely. I'll drag Jamie Noguchi with me. We'll go up. We'll go to a demolition derby. We'll do all sorts of silly white shit. You and I can go drinking like crazy. It'll be a hell of a lot of fun.
It's going to be amazing.
We'll have a blast. You'll be in a relatively safe environment. I can't promise that some redneck motherfucker ain't going to say nothing, but I can tell you right now, I'm not going to say anything. And if the dude's way too overzealous, I punch Nazis as a company policy. So you're in good hands, at the very least.
All right. Well, it sounds like fun.
Yeah, I think this is how this is going to work, Jamie. I'm going to start small. I'm going to bridge the gap personally myself. I'm going to put myself out there.
One person at a time.
Yeah, go find yourself a thick white boy. That dude knows how to have some inappropriate fun. I'm telling you right now. Like, if we've got a beer belly and are wearing something we probably shouldn't, we may actually be a lot of fun. I can't promise we're not going to be a little inappropriate. I can't promise we're not going to be a little misogynistic. I can only speak for myself. But fuck, you going to have a good time.
All right, well, that's gonna do it for us today, I guess. Besides our email, where can they find you? Where can people find you?
They can find me Facebook, Brandon Chalmers. They can find me on Instagram at That Guy Chalmers. They can email the podcast. They can email me if they're smart enough to type brandon.chalmers@gmail into their email address. I look forward to the first random email that isn't from somebody I know. But yeah, like, again, if you have questions, if you have concerns, if you're curious genuinely about it, like you are in a cultural bubble and you're like, I'd really like to be able to actually experience that. Genuinely, I'm serious. Fucking hit me up. We'll grab Jamie, we'll go do the thing, and I'll at least give you an idea what the fuck white people are on about. I can't promise we're right. I can't promise that we're sane. I can't promise that we're intelligent. But we definitely know how to crack a beer and have a good time.
Woo!
Yeah.
And grab a catfish.
Yeah, if you can see some drunken white woman go, woo! At whatever it is, it's a lot of fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's going to have mud involved. Make sure you wear some appropriate shoes.
Get your high waters.
Yeah, make sure you wear boots.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like that.
All right. Well, that's it for this week. And
Jamie, where can they find you?
Oh shit.
On the YouTubes.
Yeah, you're here on the YouTube. So I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. Brian Prindeville. And we'll see you next week.
Yep. Bye, kids.
Bye.
Bye.